Hello, hello, hello. Hello, one and all, short and tall, big and small. I'm so honored that you are choosing to spend time with Amina from Kingston, Jamaica. Arriva to the bank over there. This, arriva to the bank over there. No, di deco vale. No, di deco vale. No, di deco vale. Arriva to the banco vale. Just once. For just once. King Gungu wished that he would hear. One di deco vale. Take him, put him down the alley. But every day. No, di deco vale. No, di deco vale. No, di deco vale. Arriva to the banco vale. Arriva to the banco vale. And every chance King Gungu got, he went down to the river and he complained about what a bitter life he had. He complained about how unkindly he was treated by his uncle, his mother's brother, who took him in when his mother died, and his mother's brother was supposed to look after him like his own child. But all he did was tie out the goat and milk the cow, while his 5 cousins, his uncle's children, sat around and read books and dreamt about what they wanted to be when they grew up, and dreamt about how they would inherit their father's legacy. Except their father fell upon hard times and had to borrow money to keep himself going. And every time he borrowed money, he had to pledge something as security. And when he ran out of things to pledge, he had to pledge someone. And so he pledged King Gungu. Arriva to the banco valley. Arriva to the banco valley. And he went so sadly with the loan shark, who also sent him to fetch firewood and tie out the goats and milk the cows since he was 5. That's half his life. So every day when he was finished, every chance he'd get, he would go to the river and he would complain. No, di deco vale. No, di deco vale. No, di deco vale. And then one night as he slept, the river came to visit him. The river said, I've heard your cries. I've heard how much you wish for a better life. And the time is now. Tomorrow, when you go to the river, you will see 3 baskets. You will see a huge basket. You will see a medium-sized basket. And you will see a small basket. Take any one your choice. But if I was you, I would choose the smallest basket. The next day when King Gungu woke up, he was terrified by the dream. So when he was finished fetching firewood and tying out the goat and milking the cows, he didn't go to the river. That night, as King Gungu slept, the river came to him and said, I have heard your cries. I've heard your pleas for a better life, and the time has come. Tomorrow when you go to the river, you will see 3 baskets. A big basket, a medium-sized basket, and a little basket. Pick your choice. But if I was you, I would have picked the smallest basket. The next day when King Gungu awoke, he was terrified. He didn't know what this dream meant. And so when he was finished working, he didn't go to visit the river, but the river came to visit him. I have heard your cries. I've heard how much you wish for a better life, and the time has come. Tomorrow when you go to the river, you will see 3 baskets. A big basket, a medium-sized basket, and a little basket. Pick your choice. But if I was you, I would have taken the smallest basket. And this time, King Gungu stayed far from the river. He wasn't going to visit the river ever again at all. But the river came to visit him. Hey, little youth. Now you come down by the river every day and come cry and talk and complain and lament about how your life hard and you want a better life. And don't me tell you say the time has come. And don't me tell you say when you go down to the river you're going to see 3 baskets, a big basket, medium-sized basket, small basket, and you must pick any one your choice. But if I was you, I would have picked the smallest basket. That morning, when King Gungu woke up, he heard his mother's voice ringing in his head. He heard her say, if fish come from river bottom and tell you say alligator have gum boil, believe him. And King Gungu knew it wasn't just the fish. The entire river had come to see him. And this time, he could not wait to fetch firewood, tie out goat, and feed the cow. And he ran down to the river. And sure enough, he saw 3 baskets floating down. This, a big basket. This, a medium-sized basket. This, a small basket. And as they floated by, King Gungu had a chance to gaze into each of them. In the big basket, King Gungu saw all kinds of weapons, and he felt like taking that one and taking revenge on the wicked loan shark and his wicked uncle. But he waited for the second basket. This, it was full of beautiful clothes and jewelry and paintings, expensive, beautiful things that he could sell, become a merchant, become rich, take away himself from this wicked loan shark, pay off the debt, and go back to his uncle. But he remembered what the river said, and he decided to wait for the small basket. It was tightly covered. King Gungu had to wade inside the river to fetch it. And he waded back to the banks of the river and he opened that basket. And in that basket he saw Addis, green bush, and spice, and bandage, and wolipa bakla isla this and isla that, and man piyaba and woman piyaba. Addis, but he covered the basket and took it home to where he lived, by the loan shark. And there he saw the loan shark talking to 2 visitors he had never seen before, and they were talking in whispers, and they were talking about a child who was desperately ill, and they were saying how every doctor had come from every place far and wide, and no one could cure her, and she was still very sick. And King Gungu said, excuse, I have a basket full of medicine things. He didn't even know what to call them. And the loan shark grabbed the basket from King Gungu and emptied it on the ground and laughed. Addis, bush, and vial, and bandage, you a doctor? But the 2 strangers decided they would give King Gungu a chance. And so he packed up all his medicine things in his basket and he followed them home, where he saw the sick child, and he crushed and mixed and blended, and the sick child drank and chewed and swallowed, and just like that, that child was cured. And everybody in the village was so happy. They decided to say thanks to King Gungu in a very special way with this they brought him goats. And this, they brought him cows. And this, money. And this, fine cloth. And they gave him so many things. He was able to pay that wicked loan shark and make his way back home to his uncle. Because you see, King Goo had chosen the smallest basket, which though small, had something that everybody needed, and the river roared with approval. This, a river to the bank over there, a river to the bank over there. One the deck over there, one the deck over there, one the deck over there, take him, put him down the alley.
This.
A river to the bank over there.
This.
A river to the bank over there.
This.
One the deck over there, take him, put him down the alley.
Aye. This.
A river to the bank over there.
This.
A river to the bank over there.
This.
No, the deck over there.
This.
One the deck over there, take him, put him down the alley.
This.
A river to the bank over there.
This.
A river to the bank over there.
This.
No, the deck over there.
This.
No, the deck over there.
This.
One the deck over there, take him, put him down the alley.
This.
A river to the bank over there.
This.
A river to the bank over there.
This.
No, the deck over there.
This.
No, the deck over there.
This.
No, the deck over there. A river to the bank over there. A river to the bank over there. No, the deck over there. No, the deck over there. No, the deck over there. A river